Joining me today is UFC light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz, who appears to have his next fight set, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Jan, how are you?
Good, and how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How has life changed since being champion, other than, I'm sure, a million more interviews?
Life is beautiful right now, but hard also. Lot of interviews, lot of meetings. Yeah, but anyway, I enjoy my life. I always enjoy my life, but right now it's okay. I like it even more than before. Before when I become the UFC champion.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, so are you enjoying that part that comes with being champion, all the media obligations and stuff like that? Are you finding yourself enjoying that part?
Yeah, it was hard because it was a lot of that, but right now it's little bit going little bit down, and uh, finally I can focus about different things. But that was good time after the fight. I enjoy it. All meetings or interviews or shows was really nice.
Absolutely, and you're expecting a baby in December, I believe, right?
Yes. So right now I focus about my fiance, about this. We prepare everything for child, and yeah, it's gonna be, I think, the harder than fight, but I can make it. I can do it.
I'm sure you can, a champ that. And tell me, obviously, because you said, I heard you in the interview saying that they came to you with the Israel Adesanya offer one day after your fight. Is that correct?
Yeah, in the plane. I was in the plane and I catch Wi-Fi. My fiance catch Wi-Fi because she's also my manager. And they, they sent message to her, did I want to fight against Israel?
Were you surprised that it was that fast? Like literally,
Yeah, little bit. They send me sometimes offer after the fight, but that was 2 days after the fight or 1 week after the fight, but never, couple hours after the fight. So I was a little bit surprised, but I already know that I cannot accept. I say, okay, it's no problem. I can fight against him, but not in the December. I can fight against him in March, or him or Glover in March.
Yeah, and obviously, because people were looking at the Glover and Thiago Santos fight as a number one contender fight, and they come to you with Israel Adesanya, a guy that you shared a card with. So, how surprised were you when they came with Adesanya? Did that kind of take you out of left field?
Uh, how to say it. I like both of them. They both of them, they are really good fighters. So that's gonna be honor for me to fight against Israel or Glover. We'll see what UFC give it to me. I'm gonna be ready for everybody, so doesn't matter. We will see.
So I'm assuming no steps have been taken because you told them you want to fight in March, so no steps have been taken. It's just kind of like a brief verbal agreement, but nothing kind of set in stone.
No, I don't sign anything. I just say that March is perfect time for me. I cannot fight earlier. I will fight in March, against Israel or against Glover. We will see. Maybe in both of them in one event. I do this before, so I do. Long time ago, I have 3 fights by one night, so no problem.
Oh, in a tournament setting?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
I always enjoy it. That was really nice. The tournaments.
Yeah, the old school style. But do you have a preference on who you fight if you could choose?
I don't know. I think both of these guys they've got something what I would like to know. Glover is he's in my weight category. He's in the same place when I was couple fights when I was before. So also he deserves for title shot, but also it's good to fight against someone like Israel, to be first one who beat him, that also will be pleasure for me. So we'll see. Right now I focus about my fiance, about my kid, and after that I will think who's gonna be next.
Were you surprised that Glover was able to beat Thiago Santos?
I think that's gonna be 50-50. So after first round I knew that the Glover gonna win this fight.
And
Before
I know
fight
you
for me was 50-50. I think that I hold my fingers for Thiago because I would like to have rematch against him in future. But yeah, Glover was much better in this fight. Really good job. Really great fight.
Does the Thiago Santos rematch still interest you? Does it change anything, the fact that he lost his last one? Do you still want to
In
rematch him down
future,
the
but
line?
yeah, right now he need to back in the win strike, and then in the future, yeah, why not? I would like to take a rematch against him, but we will see what's gonna happen. But right now, right now I focus about Glover or Adesanya. I don't think right now about Thiago.
And because you said it, I mean, you and Glover have a similar story. It's pretty crazy that you guys never fought, actually, because you pretty much fought everybody. He's fought everybody, but you guys never
Yeah.
met, which makes it pretty incredible. And you guys both have an incredible story with kind of like the comeback guys. Have you been like kind of surprised or impressed? I know you can kind of relate to him, right? You know what it's like to be counted out.
I think he find the same what I find, after a couple losses. That's why he is now number one contender. And this is also something, what I really respect. He find how to be the best. I am the best. I find a way how to do it. So I think me against the Glover will be, also a great fight to make, with great story, behind.
And definitely, and whether it's Adesanya first or Glover first, for you, you're kind of looking at both guys, right? Maybe Adesanya, then Glover, or vice versa, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm watching only about these two fighters right now.
And like I said earlier, Adesanya shared the same card as you. Did you like? I wouldn't say maybe it was on your radar or anything like that, but did you picture at all that this is a guy that you could be fighting in the future?
No, I don't think so. Like this, I don't think that he will go so fast to 205. Maybe in future, but not that so fast. But this is that's why I love this sport. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know against who you're gonna have to fight. So this is amazing. Something. Why I love this sport also.
And I don't think you watched this fight, right? Because I remember interviewing you right after he won his fight, and you were doing interviews before, so I believe you didn't get a chance to watch him, right?
No interviews, and I just see the finish, but I don't see the whole fight. But I will watch it soon, for sure. If he gonna be my next opponent, I will study him. Watch him really close. So I will watch this fight also.
And there are advantages, of course, of fighting a guy like Adesanya, right? He's one of the biggest stars. He's undefeated. There's that whole thing, right, of being the first guy to beat him. Does that part make it more interesting for you?
Yes, because he will remember me to end of his life. When I beat him, he gonna have this, 20-1, and I'm always be the first one who beat him. So it's really nice to beat someone the first time, in his life. In MMA, because he lose in kickboxing, I think so, something. So in MMA, he don't know how to feel, how to be how to lose against someone. So maybe I'm gonna be the first who show him how this feeling with legendary Polish power. So it's not same.
And what do you think of Israel as a fighter? Like, how would you see a fight between you and him playing out?
It's hard to say, because he got weird style. You never know what he gonna do, so I cannot tell you. Will be but anyway, I think that because he fighting stand up, so I think that will be a great fight to watch.
Would you think that wrestling would kind of be like a key factor? I remember talking to you about Dominic Reyes, and you said, yeah, I could possibly use my wrestling against him. You obviously didn't need that. So do you see this a similar situation with Izzy? Like maybe you guys fight in the stand-up. Obviously, you've got a lot of power in your hands, but you'll have kind of the wrestling in your back pocket if you need it?
Yeah. I train wrestling all the time. I don't forget about this part of the fight, So if I gonna need to use my wrestling in any fights, I will use it. But I prefer fighting stand up. I love fighting stand up, and I'm always gonna looking the knockout. But if I'm gonna have opportunity to take someone down, I will do it. So maybe in against Israel, I'm gonna use my wrestling, but I don't think so.
Another name that I kept throwing at you before your fight, I said, Jon Jones. I said, I want to talk about Jon Jones right now. I'm focused on Dominic Reyes. And it's crazy how the story has changed. Right now we're talking about Israel Adesanya. But how do you think Jon Jones will do at heavyweight? Do you think he'll be successful?
I don't know. I think he will back to a fight really fast, after one maybe 2 fights, he will be back to 205. But right now, I think what he doing? He looking attention and he do something with shotgun. Yeah, he tried to catch the thief, something like this. But I think that was fake, I think that was a fake. He prepared this to find the attention, because nobody talk about him anymore.
Okay.
That's why he did it. This is my opinion.
And when you say you think he's going to go back to light heavyweight, do you think he's not going to find success? He's not going to be able to handle heavyweight? Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think but we will see. He need to do first fight in heavyweight, and after that we can talk a little bit more about this. But I think that he will, he'll come back to 205 really fast.
Do you think maybe if you beat Adesanya, that'll make him want to come back?
Maybe that's gonna be something what make pressure on him to back to 205, but we will see. I think I said this in a couple of interviews that he go to heavyweight because he don't want to lost against me. When if he lose in heavyweight, okay, this is not my category, not my division. It's always some excuse gonna have in heavyweights. But in 205, when I beat him, no excuse. What he gonna say?
And I know right now you've got two opponents to focus on, Adesanya and Teixeira. Obviously, you're not. It looks like Adesanya, but we never know. Any unfinished business, in your opinion, in terms of Jon Jones? Obviously, you had that phenomenal moment in New Mexico where you knock out Corey Anderson. He's there in the crowd. A bit of back and forth. I wouldn't say you're really a trash talk type of guy, but seemed like a little bit of a build up there. For you, do you really want the Jon Jones fight to happen regardless? Or are you okay in your career to not
believe
fight?
That in future I'm gonna meet him somewhere, someday, anywhere. We're gonna fight. We're gonna make this fight in future. I believe in this. So we have to wait a little bit more. But in the future, I will catch him somewhere. Because he promised me this fight after Korea. He promised me this fight, and what he do? He go to heavyweight. But in future, I also can go to heavyweight, but not now. In, I don't know, 3 more years in 205, and then maybe in heavyweight.
Is that just to catch Jon, or do you personally think that a few years later, what's the weight cut like for you for light heavyweight?
Right now?
Yeah, in general.
Right now, it's something like 235, something like this, maybe 233, 232, something like this. I don't know.
So would you say it's a tough weight cut, or it's okay for you?
And I never have problem with my weight cutting, because after the fight, I like to eat. So when I start my camp, I watch what I eat, and my weight goes down easy. Never have problem with that.
Okay, so you're talking about heavyweight maybe in the future, like when you get older and stuff like that, you're not going to want to focus on a weight cut and stuff like that, right? Is that what you mean?
When I'm going to be in Glover age, then I go to heavyweight.
I'm sure you're impressed with how he's looked, right, at the age of 40. I remember I was writing something about like the guys that have competed. We think Randy Couture, we think him. You all remember those guys. Are you impressed to see how well he's been doing at the age of 40? Does that give you inspiration?
Yeah, a lot of inspiration, because after 3 years I'm gonna be in their age, so I'm still think that okay, I'm gonna be in good shape. If they can be, why can I? So yeah, so I see my future in really good perspective.
Absolutely, and I'm going to leave you the one last question. I appreciate your time. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but give me your prediction of Glover and Adesanya. When you look at these kind of fights, because I know it's always a knockout. You've got that legendary Polish power, but do you kind of focus on yourself when you look at these matchups? Like, this is what I'm set out to do, or do you see? Obviously, Glover and Israel are very different stylistically. Do you see the fight with you and Glover and you and Izzy going completely different ways? How do you see those matchups?
Completely different style, completely different fighters, and completely different finish. But it's too early to say something like this. How I'm gonna finish, because I don't focus about this right now. So I'm gonna do this my magic visualization a little bit later, and then I will tell you. In the new year I will tell you how I'm gonna finish Glover or Israel. But for sure that's gonna be knockout. But I don't know which hand and which round.
I like it. You gave me a pretty accurate. I think you told me third round for Dominic Reyes, so maybe you were 1 round late. Still a pretty accurate, prediction that you gave me for Dom. It was a great performance. The body kicks that you threw on him, my goodness. I mean, we saw the kind of the mark on his body, and then
I
the way
saw it too.
Yeah, it was definitely a spectacular performance. Well, Jan, I really appreciate you taking the time. Again,
No
congratulations
problem.
on a fantastic win. Congratulations on being a father very soon. Enjoy your time off with your family, and looking forward to seeing what's next for you. Whether Adesanya, Glover, big things coming up for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Pleasure for me when we talk together. Thank you.